You clicked on this video because you're tired of being overlooked, dismissed, or treated like you're just another guy in the room. You want respect the second you walk in, the kind that doesn't need a title, a bank account, or a six-pack to back it up. Good, because I'm about to hand you the one thing that flips that switch permanently. And before you start guessing money, height, muscles, status, let me stop you cold. None of that is the one thing. You can be broke, short, skinny, unknown, and still walk into any room and have every head turn like a dangerous man just showed up. I've seen it. I've done it. I've watched 5'6" nobodies command more respect than 6'4" millionaires, all because they flipped one invisible switch the second they opened their mouth or locked eyes. The one thing isn't what you have. It's how unshakably you hold your frame. Frame is the silent story you tell the world about who's in control of any interaction before a single word is spoken. Most men hand their frame away the moment someone pushes, jokes, tests, ignores, or challenges them. They react instantly. Eyebrows raise, voice jumps. They explain, defend, laugh too quick, look away first. And in that split second the room decides, this guy is prey. You can smell it on them like cheap cologne. The masters never gave their frame away, not to warlords, not to emperors, not to drunk soldiers twice their size. They walked in calm, stayed calm, and let everyone else bounce off their stillness like waves hitting a cliff. And within minutes, every man in the room was moving inside their reality, not the other way around. I started practicing this the day I left the mountain. Walked into job interviews, dates, confrontations, high-stakes rooms where I had zero business being, and just refused to react first. Someone cracked a joke at my expense. I looked them dead in the eye and said nothing. Someone tried to rush me into a decision. I slowed everything down to my pace. Someone tried to dominate the conversation. I let the silence stretch until they started filling it themselves, and something insane happened. People started treating me like I belonged at the head of the table, even when I was the youngest, poorest, least experienced guy there. Women leaned in, men watched their tone, doors opened, opportunities showed up, not because I got louder or flashier, because I stopped reacting like every other guy who's desperate to be seen as something. The one thing is frame control. Own your frame and people have no choice but to step into it. Lose your frame and no amount of money, muscle, or status will ever buy it back. From this second forward, your frame is the one thing you never give away again. You've got the secret now. It all comes down to frame, but knowing it and owning it are two different worlds. So here's the first move you make today, the one that locks the frame in place every single time life tries to knock you off balance. From this moment forward, no matter what happens, you do not react first. You give the world 4 to 6 seconds of pure, dead, calm non-reaction before you move a muscle or let a word slip. 4 to 6 seconds, that's all. But in those seconds you win the war before it starts. Someone cuts you off in traffic and your blood jumps. 4, 5, 6. You breathe slow, face stays stone, hands relaxed on the wheel. Someone throws a dig at you in a meeting. 4, 5, 6. No eyebrow raise, no defensive smirk, no instant comeback. Just calm eyes and silence while the chemicals try to hijack you. Girl texts something designed to rattle you. 4, 5, 6. Phone stays face down. You feel the storm rise and fall inside, and by the time you pick it up you're the one in control again. Those 4 to 6 seconds are the gap between prey and predator. Most men live in the first 2 seconds of emotion. Trigger hits, amygdala fires, mouth opens, frame gone. They think reacting fast makes them look strong. Wrong. Reacting fast proves you're on a leash. The man who can take the punch, verbal, emotional, physical, and stand there untouched for 4 to 6 seconds is the man the room instinctively fears and follows. The monks drilled this into us with fists and sticks. You're in the courtyard, senior comes at you screaming, swinging, trying to make you flinch. Your only job, stand still, breathe, count the seconds in your head. First week you eat punches because the body wants to fight or flee. By the third week, the punches slow down because the senior runs out of steam against a wall that won't move. By the end of the year, they stop swinging altogether, because hitting a man who won't react feels like hitting smoke. Same law runs every room you'll ever walk into. The second you refuse to jump into someone else's emotional tempo, they have to jump into yours. The joke falls flat because you didn't laugh on cue. The insult dies because you didn't defend. The pressure collapses because you didn't fold, and in that vacuum, your frame becomes the only frame left standing. Start practicing tonight. Next time your phone buzzes with something that normally spikes your heart rate, set it down and count 4, 5, 6 out loud if you have to. Feel the urge rise, peak, and crash without you ever moving. Do it 10 times and it becomes muscle memory. Do it 100 times and people start describing you as calm under fire. Hard to read, dangerous, without ever knowing why. 4 to 6 seconds of non-reaction is the cheapest, fastest way to own any room on earth. From this breath forward, the world moves first. You move second or not at all. You've tasted the power of the pause. Now, let's turn it into a weapon that ends power plays before they even start. The next piece is dead simple, but it hits people in the chest like a sledgehammer. When someone is talking at you, bragging, testing, insulting, flirting, whatever, you lock eyes and give them nothing but silence 1 full beat longer than feels comfortable. Not a polite nod, not a fake smile, not a to keep things smooth. Just pure, unblinking eye contact and dead quiet while the air gets thick. Most men can't handle 30 extra seconds of their own echo. They'll fill it with more words, weaker words, nervous laughs, or straight-up surrender. You don't have to say a thing. Your silence and your stare do all the work. I watched a grandmaster dismantle a room full of armed officers with this one move. They came in loud, chests puffed, demanding answers. He stood there, hands folded, eyes locked on the leader. 10 seconds, 20, 30, no blink, no movement. You could hear armor creak. By the time he finally spoke, every man in that room was already leaning forward, waiting for permission to breathe. 1 minute of silence broke an entire squad. Same thing works in every arena out here. Boss tries to dress you down in front of the team. Lock eyes, silence. Let the discomfort crawl all over him while you stay ice. Guy at the bar starts flexing and talking loud in your direction. Same stare, same quiet. Watch his story get smaller with every second you refuse to feed it. Girl throws a test to see if you'll chase. Lock in, say nothing, let the tension do the chasing for you. There's something primal about unbroken eye contact plus silence. It triggers the ancient part of the brain that scans for threat or dominance. When you don't flinch, don't fill the void, don't look away first, their nervous system registers you as the apex in the room. Doesn't matter if you're 5'6" or broke or wearing last year's shoes. Biology doesn't care about your resume. It cares who refuses to break first. Start calibrating it today. Next conversation, next meeting, next text thread that starts heating up. You hit them with the stare and the silence 1 beat past comfortable. Count it in your head if you have to. Feel them squirm. Feel them talk themselves into a corner. Feel the exact moment they hand you the frame because they can't stand the pressure you won't return. Do it 10 times and people start saying, There's something about him. Do it 100 times and nobody tests you anymore, because they already know how it ends. Silence plus eye contact isn't polite. It's dominance in its purest form. From now on, when they talk, you lock and load and let the silence do the talking. You've got the pause, you've got the stare. Now let's strip away the last thing that's been bleeding your power since you were a kid. Talking too damn much. From this day forward, you speak 30% less than every other person in the room. That's the new law, not 20%, not sometimes, 30% less, every conversation, every day, no exceptions. The man who talks the least is automatically assumed to know the most. You walk into a meeting where everyone's running their mouth, dropping opinions, telling stories, trying to fill the air. You sit back, say only what needs to be said, and suddenly every head turns when you finally open up. You're on a date, and she's filling every silence with chatter. You give short, calm answers and let the quiet stretch. Watch how fast she starts hanging on your next word like it's gold. You're in a group, and the loudest guy is peacocking. You drop one sentence every 5 minutes, and people start quoting you by the end of the night. I learned this the hard way. Used to be the guy who had an answer for everything, a story for every story, a comeback for every comeback. Thought it made me look smart. All it did was make me predictable, make me forgettable, make me one of the herd. Then I watched the masters speak, maybe 50 words in an entire evening, and leave the room like gods. Same room, same people, completely different gravity. The difference, they understood that every extra word dilutes your power like water in whiskey. Start cutting today. Take whatever you normally say and force yourself to remove a third of it before it leaves your mouth. Feels awkward at first, good, awkward is growth. People will push, they're addicted to noise. They'll say, "What do you think?" 3 times, they'll try to drag more out of you, they'll fill the silence themselves. Let them, your scarcity is your strength. Do it for a week and something wild happens. People start leaning in when you speak. They start repeating what you said like it's scripture. They start treating your opinion like it actually matters because it comes so rare. You go from background noise to the signal everyone's tuned for. I've closed $1,000,000 deals with 12 spoken words. I've ended arguments with 4. I've made rooms full of alphas shut up and listen with 1 calm sentence after 10 minutes of silence. Less became more the second I made it non-negotiable. From this breath forward, your new default is 30% less talk, 100% more impact. Speak less than everyone else and watch them treat you like you know everything. You've got the pause, the stare, the silence, the 30% less rule. Now we weld them together into the single sharpest tool you'll ever carry, the slow nod plus 1 sentence. When anyone tries to bait you, impress you, rattle you, dominate you, or pull you into their drama, you do exactly this. 1 slow, deliberate nod like you just heard something mildly interesting. Then you wait 2 full beats of silence. Then you hit them with 1 calm sentence or less. That's it. No paragraphs, no explanations, no emotion, just the nod, the wait, 1 clean strike. Watch what happens. Boss throws a passive-aggressive jab in front of the team. Slow nod. 1, 2. Noted. Conversation over. Guy at the gym tries to 1-up your lift with a loud story. Slow nod. 1, 2. Cool. He deflates him instantly. Girl tests you with "So what do you do?" Loaded with judgment. Slow nod. 1, 2. Enough. She leans in, suddenly curious. Some loudmouth on the internet writes an essay under your post. Slow nod to yourself. 1, 2. Reply. Keep going. Then mute. That combination is lethal because it does 4 things at once. The slow nod acknowledges them without agreeing or submitting. The 2-beat pause makes them feel the weight of their own words. The 1-sentence reply lands like a scalpel steel. Short, calm, final. You stay completely unreactive, which forces them to react to you. I've ended boardroom power plays, street confrontations, family arguments, and toxic debates with this exact move. The other person always walks away quieter, smaller, and strangely respectful, even when they started swinging. Because, in those 4 to 5 seconds you refused to enter their frame, you made them enter yours, and you ended it on your terms. Start drilling it today. Every single interaction is practice. Feel the urge to fire off 10 sentences. Crush it down to 1. Feel the need to explain yourself. Kill it. Feel the silence getting heavy. Good. Let it crush them instead. The first dozen times will feel rude, cold, almost cruel. Perfect. That discomfort is the sound of your old needy self dying. Do it for 7 days straight, and people will start describing you with words they've never used before. Calm, confident, intimidating, different. Do it for 30 days, and nobody who knew the old you will recognize the new one. The slow nod plus 1 sentence is the quietest way to scream dominance. From now on, that's your only response when the world tests you. You've got the pause, the stare, the silence, the 30% rule, the slow nod, 1 sentence kill shot. Now the final piece, the one that seals your reputation forever. You master the exit. You walk away at the peak, while the energy is still in your favor, while people are still leaning in, while the frame is still yours. No goodbyes, no explanations, no I've got to run. Just a slight nod or half smile and you're gone. People remember how you leave more than how you arrive. Most men linger. They overstay, they chase the last word. They try to squeeze one more laugh, one more point, one more second of validation. Every extra minute after the peak drains the power you just built. You go from mysterious to needy in 60 seconds flat. The masters never did that. They'd sit with kings, finish 1 sentence, stand up, bow once, and disappear while the whole room was still hanging on the silence. The king would talk about that monk for years. Same move works everywhere. Dates going perfect, she's laughing, touching your arm, eyes locked. You look at your watch, slight nod, half smile, good night, and you're out the door while she's still mid-sentence wanting more. She'll text you before you hit the car. Meeting's wrapped. You dropped the 1 line that shut the room up. Stand up, slight nod, leave while they're still processing. They'll clear their calendars next time you walk in. Party's buzzing. People are circling you because you've said almost nothing all night. Slight nod to the room, turn, walk out at the height of the energy. Watch how fast someone chases you to the door, begging you to stay. Leaving at the peak does 3 things no amount of talking ever can. It proves the interaction happened on your terms. It leaves them wanting more, which is the ultimate position of power. It burns the image of you into their mind as the guy who's never desperate for approval. I started doing this years ago, and it changed everything. Used to be the guy who closed the bar trying to keep the good vibe alive. Became the guy who vanished at 11 p.m. while the night was still electric. Suddenly invitations tripled, women chased, men respected, opportunities showed up unasked. Because scarcity plus high value equals obsession. Start tonight. Next social setting, next call, next win. Feel the exact moment the energy crests, then execute the exit. Slight nod, half smile, gone. No apology, no I'll catch you later. No wave, just quiet disappearance while they're still hungry. Do it once and it feels rude. Do it 10 times and it becomes your signature. Do it 100 times and people rearrange their lives hoping you'll stay 5 minutes longer next time. The strongest statement you'll ever make is the one you never speak. It's the door closing behind you while they're still mid-sentence. Walk away at the peak, and they'll never see you the same again.